If you're working with an SFM file that is not based on just a simple word list with word and gloss, but it has other fields, such as you might have if it came from Toolbox or some other source, then there's another step that's really important when you're doing an import. The single most important thing you can do is to make an inventory of the markers and make sure you know what they mean. In addition to knowing what they mean, you also need to think about what writing system they're in. And so I have done that with this data. This is a different database. And here's my inventory of the markers. And I've used tools like grep and sort and unique to provide the count as well as the list of unique markers. Now we can see here for the LX marker, there are 12. That tells me I have 12 records. And these are the other markers in my data. So what I want to do is for each one, I want to fill in what the meaning is, what level in the hierarchy, is it at the entry level or sense level, and what is the writing system. And I might make notes to myself that I want to research if I'm not sure of something about the marker that's going to affect the import. So here I have filled that all in. LX is the lexeme form. Now notice that these two, they are both the gloss. They have the same meaning, and it's not essential to make them different here in the meaning column, because over in the writing system column, that's where they get differentiated. This one shows up in the English slice of the gloss field, and this one will get imported into the French slice of the gloss field. So keep that in mind, that just because two markers are different, they might not go into a different field. They might go into different writing systems of the same field. That's very important. Now down here on note, I've made a note to myself that I'm not sure if it's at the entry level or the sense level. It could be at the entry level, but as I've looked at this specific data, I realized, okay, in this case, this NT marker is at the sense level, so that's okay. I've double checked it. So now I'm ready to do the import. So here I am, partway through the import. I've set up a writing system descriptor for French, and I have Indonesian and English. So I move on to the phase where I'll map the markers. Now, because it's using the MDF default, there's a lot of markers that it recognized. GE, it recognizes as the gloss, and the E tells it that it's in English. Now, if I had used the GN marker, it would guess that it was the gloss in the national language. And so if you can use the national label, that will help a lot if you have markers like GN or DN or XN. A lot of fields will get guessed for you, and that will save time. In this case, I need to set the language manually, so I will select it and modify. I tell not to put an import residue. I go down to the sense level, and I find the gloss field, and then I tell it what language to put it into. I'll click OK, and I will double check. GF is going into the gloss field, the French writing system. Now it knows that SO means source and DE means definition. Now let me look at the note field. I'll skip over the red ones for now. The note field, remember I was wondering whether it was at the entry level or sense level of the hierarchy. And it has guessed that it should go into a field called general note. But just from looking at this, I can't tell what level of hierarchy it will put it. So I have to select it and click modify. And now when I look over here, I can see that general note occurs at the sense level, and that's what I want. Now, if I had gone up to the entry level, there is another field called just plain old note, not general note, but note. And if my NT field was at the entry level, then I would map it to this instead. But I'm going to stick with general note, which is at the sense level, and the language is English. I double check and confirm that. And if you're ever not sure what a field is used for, there's a lot of information down here at the bottom that tells you a lot of details about it. That's a very useful pane. Okay, I will click OK.